the findings of the Holden Report are deeply concerning. In fact, they're absolutely shocking and make for very difficult reading for the residents that I represent in North Wales. As Mr. Ishwood outlined, the long-awaited report, which was prevented from being published for years, revealed a culture of bullying and a low morale among staff in the Hergest ward, which was said to be in serious trouble, according to the report. And relationships between staff and managers at matron level and above have broken to such an extent that patient care was undoubtedly affected. And it is devastating to hear that patients have come to harm and been neglected because of these issues. With these extreme failures, of course, our staff, patients and families who've had to endure these devastating events. And as we all know, and it's already been pointed out, Welsh Labour Government have had oversight of this failing health board, and leading this oversight for much of this time was the First Minister, Mr. Drakeford, who was then Health Minister. As the First Minister outlined to me in questions last week, and I quote, "I agree that it is important to make sure that there's proper trust between people who use services and the provision of those services in North Wales." And this government, Deputy Presiding Officer, has a huge amount of work to do, as currently many of my residents across North Wales simply don't feel that trust when it comes to mental health services in my region. As our motion states, staff, patients and families affected, first of all, need a simple apology from the Welsh Government. I don't think that's a difficult thing to ask for. Aside from words, what my residents also want is radical improvements in the provision of mental health services across the region of North Wales, including the establishment of a 24-hour mental health walk-in centre and meaningful information on the performance and quality of mental health services across Wales that they use being published. Yet despite this, the board is still experiencing difficulties with mental health provision. The latest figures show that the Health Board in North Wales has some of the worst waiting times in Wales. And what have we seen the Labour government here do? Taking this failing Health Board out of special measures just months before May's Senate elections, which I'm sure some would say was simply a political decision.